Hello and a very good evening to all the lovely audience who have tuned in to watch us live today. I'm Shamishta Parmar, the Community Engagement Lead from StoryCircle Edusaarthi, and I extend my warm welcome to all the lovely audience who have tuned in to watch us live. Our fourth episode of UTSAV Celebrating Edusaarthi with our batch 3 participants. Our batch 3 participants are there with us and they all have successfully completed our certificate program of storytelling and creative methods. And they are all with us and we are so happy to see them here today on one screen once again. A very warm welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we would just begin with introducing yourself. Eva ma'am, can you just begin with, we'll start with you.
Good evening everyone. Good morning to who are on this side of the pond. I'm Eva Mehta. I live in Switzerland and I work with children with special needs and I help different foundations where the children who are underprivileged or even adults. And I work at the refugee camp in Switzerland.
Lovely, wonderful. Yes, Komal ma'am.
Hi, I'm Komal Agarwal. I am a kids and a parents life coach, now a storyteller also. I'm also a SEL educator, taking classes of teachers all over the world. Currently, I am working with children and parents, helping them to be emotionally trained, which cover topics like anger management, stress management, being resilient, and so on. I believe learning should never stop. So gain new knowledge, grow new skills, grow up daily. I think this is the reason I did the storytelling course.
Yeah. Wonderful. Mahua ma'am, over to you.
Hi everyone, good to see you after a long time. Hi, my name is Mahua. I'm working with Homerton Grammar School since 12 years. I'm a mother teacher of primary section and love to connect with kids and the storytelling session it just gave me immense power to how to motivate your and how to connect with your emotions with the small kids. When we actually did different kind of programs in our school as well, we try to train our teachers as well. I really enjoyed that session with all of you. I have learned I don't know plenty of things, the voice modulation, pronunciation, I can't explain how much thing I have learned from all of you. Thank you so much for having me.
Lovely. Over to you, Namrata.
Yeah, hi, good evening everybody. And just as like Mahua ma'am said, I am also co-teacher of Mahua ma'am in Homerton Grammar School. And we both teach primary kids. Currently I am taking class 4. And yes, storytelling session has benefited us a lot and we have learned so many things, and the best part was we were able to impart all the same things to our co-teachers as well, and now all of us are using some kind of story or the other in every subject almost, whether it's maths, Hindi, English, and the kids are learning in a much better way when they learn through stories. So yes, we have benefited a lot from all the sessions.
Lovely. Yes, Shweta.
Hello everyone, a very good evening to everyone present here. And myself, I'm Shweta Kothari. I'm based in Ahmedabad, mother of 2 kids, as well as a storyteller and an artist also. And I take sessions for art and for story for young learners till now. Maybe in future I'll plan to go ahead with higher group also. That's it. Thank you.
Lovely. So we all believe that there is no greater power on this earth than story. And it was so wonderful to have you all in our batch 3 as our participants. And it was our equal pleasure that you all were with us. And so my first question goes to Eva ma'am, that how did you connect to Edusaarthi and what made you take up this course?
So basically, I am not an educator, but I volunteered at the school since my kids were little. I did not continue with my profession. I'm a lawyer, but from the very beginning, I always used to help as a child, as a teenager, and then growing up also in various schools or foundations. And then since my kids were little, I did not pursue my own career. And then I used to in the school there were certain programs where it's called education with music, education with theater. And then now my kids are no longer kids, they are all grown up, so I have more spare time. So since I was dealing with kids with different learning disabilities or refugees, so to connect with them, you need different tools. It could be more creative. And I said, when you have creative learning, the attention span of the children is much more. And then I was looking, okay, music in education, I know music in theater. And when my daughter was quite young, I used to volunteer at the school library, and I used to do a lot of stories with the kids, and they used to have fun. So then I thought, okay, maybe let me explore. So I was on, but I thought maybe a little bit of training would help. So I was looking on the net, and I came across Yogita ma'am's lectures and couple of interviews that she had done, and I was like, wow, this is interesting. And then I see that she's based in Ahmedabad. So of course, originally I'm from Ahmedabad. So I thought, maybe let me write an email to her and see, it doesn't hurt. And she responded, and the journey began from there. And I am very grateful to her that, she, even though of course I'm on the other side, she said, okay, this sounds great, and let's see if you want to join the next batch when we do. So that's the way I got in touch with Edusaarthi and with Miss Yogita, and of course you all.
Lovely. And it was really a pleasure to have you with us, and your learning through music, through stories, and you are going to impart that to the people or the children who are in need. That sounds so interesting, and we wish you that you do great with this Edusaarthi course in near future. Yes, over to you, Komal ma'am.
Yeah, I think it was amazing. I cannot forget that day when I attended one of the master classes of emotional intelligence, and where Yogita ma'am was the facilitator. I was really amazed the way she depicted the story, and she developed a connect directly to your heart. I was actually visualizing that story, and I was just thinking that I am the part of that story. So वो जिस तरह से वो सुनाती हैं, and I must say उनका जो aura है ना, it is just एक कनेक्ट डेवलप कर लेता है. मतलब आप ना भी चाहते हो ना, यू गेट सो मोटिवेटेड कि हाँ करना ही करना है. So despite I know that storytelling has lots of advantage, like it enhances your communication skills, social skills, it makes learners learning easy and all. But for me, I found that listening and depicting stories, during that session only, Yogita ma'am made me realize that it secretes various happy hormones also. Also, it make you emotionally happy. You can directly connect to your emotions. So being an SEL educator, I thought to learn this special skill, which has really helped me a lot, and it has directly connected to me to my target audiences.
So how did you get in touch with Edusaarthi?
I attended. I told you she was the facilitator at one of the master classes in
Okay.
there was a session in emotional intelligence classes.
Okay. Wonderful.
So I
Over
just
to you,
connected
Mahua
there.
ma'am.
As you know, as I told you, I work with Homerton Grammar. Myself, Namrata, and Mamta. Actually, our school founder, Susan ma'am, one day she called three of us, and she said ki there is a program called storytelling, and because Namrata is much younger than me, and I was so surprised. I asked ma'am, ki, ma'am, why you have chose me over there are many teachers are there. She said, you just go and do. I think you enjoy the sessions. So this is the way I attached with Edusaarthi through my school, and when I took the sessions, after every sessions, whenever I met ma'am, I said thank you very much, ma'am. Initially I thought whether what the thing that I will going to learn from here, I don't have any idea. I love to read storybooks. I love to narrate stories. That is the different phenomena. But the way it can be, or now the way I am doing, every session we are taking, like Namrata said, ki every subject, at least we are thinking ki okay, can we do this thing with a story? And believe me, in my class now my students, they are like, ma'am, we will do this thing with story. We will send you videos and clips and audios. So that much we are able to do, because this time we are doing it in Zoom sessions, not one-to-one interaction. But though we are not doing one-to-one interaction, they are just first class students. And one thing I ensure in my class, that when you are doing your story, doesn't matter what language you are using. It actually, in small kids, language is very important, because if you can't connect with them with your stories language, they will not going to enjoy it. So now at least our achievement is, our kids now, they're asking us for the stories. They want to make their own stories. So I think it's really nice.
Lovely, and I totally agree with you that language plays a vital role. We need to speak them with the smaller children with the language which they understand, and stories are the medium where we can make them understand anything through stories. So lovely. Over to you,
And
Namrata.
one more thing I want to add, that confidence. It's building a confidence is really, this story is really helping them through this, though it's Zoom session, still.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yes,
as
Namrata.
ma'am just said, we need to know through this. There's a disturbance, I think.
Yes, a little bit of distance. Rest of them just
Yeah,
yes.
we came from our founder, ma'am, and she was the one who believed in.
Still there's some.
I'll just put my ear.
Yes. Shweta, you can take a.
Yeah, so Susan ma'am was the one who believed in us, and she was the one who gave us this opportunity that we should be the one who would be attending the session, and then you learn all those things which can be learned. And yes, all the things, I mean, they helped us in such a big way. Class 1-2 is fine. I mean, they are smaller kids. You can develop stories for them. The basic, challenge was for the grade 3 and 4 teachers. Imparting knowledge of every subject through stories is not that easy. But we somehow have now learned how to develop our own stories also. I mean, if we learned 15 things, now we have developed 30 more things of our own. I mean, every topic has a story now in our mind. And like this, now we have this thing in our mind, we have this belief in us that we can develop our own stories also. And same with our kids, since grade 3 and 4 are a little bigger kids, so they are able to frame their own stories also. So that's the benefit that we have got.
Lovely. I guess Shweta ma'am is
I think her call dropped. Nowadays.
okay. We'll pick up her soon. Okay, so let's welcome Shawberry, my co-host. She's going to continue with the show. Yes, Shawberry, over to you.
Sure. Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, you are a part of family, so I would not go over with the welcome again. And I hope that is a great welcome in itself, right? So, the next question, rather a conversation. Tell me, after the course, how it was, what happened after the course, let us talk about the steps that you have taken slowly and gradually to achieve what you have achieved that you have already discussed right now. Yes, let's go with Namrata ma'am.
Yeah, I think the Acha, is my voice coming double to you also? As per, na? I mean, my voice is
No,
coming
it's
double.
absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine. It must be in your ears. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay then. So the most basic benefit was learning became interesting for the kids and teaching became interesting for us. I mean, more interesting, right? Like when the kids understand every subject and every topic through stories, obviously they are more eager to listen to us.
Right.
And in addition to that, an icing on the cake was that we used props, we used toys that we made, and we used fingers, we used gestures, we used expressions, music. So all these things, like, they are a power package, you can say, and it is like a great enjoyment for the kids. Yeah, आज इस तरीके से पढ़ना है, so that was very interesting.
Interesting.
That was
So, Mahua ma'am, would you like to share any of such incident where you felt that this story just worked out? The children, they might be not very welcoming of the concept, but the story just worked out.
Yeah. I remember one thing, that is, you remember one day you have taken a class with some adjective or something like that. So
Yeah.
believe me, every time when we do this adjective part, we shown videos and all this. This time I thought, okay, but try to do this one, showing some objects, and believe me, I'm not almost every day I recall you when you took that session, because as I said always, ki one-to-one session is more easier than the Zoom session. I'm a teacher of a very little kids. So this time, when I introduced that session with okay, this is a thing, you can tell me the color, the shape, whatever you want. So everyone started doing, okay ma'am, I can show my thing to you and you now tell me. I think this is the connection which I'm able to do in my class. That's why I think it's a different kind of thing, a different dimension. We can introduce our subjects more interesting way. Or always we introduce a subject like, okay, आज हम adjective करेंगे. So it's a very huge word for them to adjective करेंगे, rather than we are describing whatever you have in your hands or in your on your table, whatever. So now my kids are asking me, ma'am, look at this thing and tell me what is the color of the thing. So this is the I really enjoyed that.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Mahua ma'am. Let's go ahead with Komal ma'am now. Komal ma'am, I hope I'm audible to you.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you are. Okay, I think it's coming and going. Yeah.
So I have learned a lot of things here. ऐसा नहीं था कि पहले children used to get pally with me. पहले भी हो जाते थे, ऐसा नहीं था. 1-to-1 sessions होते थे, चाहे workshops होती थी, everything was fine, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था. But definitely एक music एक part है, which I learned especially before the session. Now children really look forward to the mashed potato and anything like that. They really look forward, and especially I learned in that water class that how to make faces. When I make faces, they obviously there are various emotions, and when you make those faces now, children actually their feelings comes out and they express very nicely. Their moods lights up, and they open up. Frankly, they open up easily. Although I'm not supposed to share my personal experience, but I would really want to share one. One thing, I was just narrating the stories and all. Now, usually whenever I take the sessions or workshop, I either narrate a story with some props and all, or share my experiences. So children directly connected with, they visualize with it. And one such thing happened. There was a very submissive girl. She didn't want to share her feelings. So उसने ना अपनी स्टोरी मतलब XYZ के नाम रख के she started sharing that. I was that it was her only who was saying this, that girl. But I liked the way she got into it. Yes, through stories you can share your heart. So yes, I can feel that difference. Now children can connect with me easily. They are more open up. They're more lively, and the sessions have become more lively and cheerful. So this is the difference which I can feel.
That's I don't know, I'm speechless quite. The submissive girl started speaking. I think what else do you want? At least however it is, the communication taking at least however it is, the communication was taking place. So that's kudos to you.
Now they communicate. They communicate. They put themselves in that place, and now they communicate. I was really amazed that girl ना मतलब वो she was not able to express. तो वो उसने एक story बनाई कि एक ऐसे बच्चा था वो था. I got to know कि क्या वो चाह रही है. But it was very nice कि heart to heart connect develop होता है.
That is amazing. Yes, Eva ma'am. Back to you.
So after taking the course, of course, I believe in creative learning, and a lot of other tools I had used, and I have seen that children connect much better. And I myself, after doing the sessions or the course with Edusaarthi, I did about 8 to 9 stories, and these stories were 80% real life examples, and which I converted them into stories. So of course I had to write down the story and then act it out. So the theater part which we did with Peter Walter was a very big help, because expression and of course dance, so different forms of dance incorporated into the stories, and it made much easier to connect with the children, because creativity, mind, body and soul, they all work in harmony. And so when you emphasize, and when these are underprivileged children, they have not seen certain things, and when you give them different things to work with, like say give them a bongo to play, just drumming, it makes them feel very happy. Or you make them sing, play the piano and you make them sing, or you're giving them, all right, let's make a puppet, and then you begin a story. So it was a boost to what, because when I go to the refugee centers, these children come from, even the adults, sometimes there are adults, they come from war zones, so they are very unpeaceful people. And I do a lot of paintings with them, and what you observe is the color that they pick. It represents their emotions, that what they are going to go through. So I was at a few months ago, I was at the refugee center here locally, and different ages, the kids from different ages. So there was a room where we had paints, different paints. Second room, we had kids where they were dancing. And then there was just, toys were there. They could just venture into the toys. So I was observing, I started to paint. I just picked random color. I started to do. So this boy walks up, and I think he was from Sri Lanka, and then there was another kid from some other country. And so one kid picked up black color and just started painting the wall black, and there was so much force in that painting. And on the other side, the other boy picked up red color. So you see the colors, and it brings out emotions. They are not talking because language is a barrier. They don't know to speak German, English, maybe barely. But because the two boys who were there was an Afghani boy, he could manage to speak some Hindi. So he was so thrilled to see me that, looking at me, he was asking me, are you from Pakistan? Are you from, then he could not so much relate. So he said, oh, Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan. And I was like, yeah, okay. So he could speak some Hindi, so we could communicate. And he said that I like to do drumming, and I have not touched drums in a very long time. So drumming, you could see that while he was drumming, his tears were rolling out. So that's what it just brings out their emotions, and they can express, and then they can relate. You can relate to them through these different mediums. And of course, you tell them a story, you try to inspire them through stories, and so that makes it much easier for them. So it was a great help with different sessions that we did.
That is a thoughtful of you, I must say. And that little boy, I can imagine that what must be going on inside him, and the joy that he must have felt, the relief that he must have felt after that session. That's wonderful. Thank you, Eva ma'am, for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay, so next we go to Shweta ma'am. Shweta ma'am got a call drop, so we would like to start over with you.
Yeah, actually there were some network issues, so I just got disconnected once. Yeah, and I'll just brief up a little bit about myself. I have always had a flair for creativity, and even when my kids were very young, I always used to try some creative things, be teaching or reading a story to them every day. I made it a point. And then 6 years back, I was working in this school, and it's in pre-primary school. It's actually a proper school, but I was in the pre-primary section in Ahmedabad. And there I realized that I was really fascinated by storytelling. And I started searching on net, if I could do a course or something about it. And somewhere I got to know about Yogita ma'am. And I had a conversation with her 3 years back, but things didn't turn up at that time. And you say the right things happen at the right moment. And finally I got a chance to be a part of Edusaarthi Group 3. And before that also I conducted few sessions online for storytelling. But I can surely say, after doing the course properly, I got to know very tiny tidbits, how to enhance the session, how to take it from the starting to the end, the transition with the kids. And these sessions have become much more interactive, and the happiness on the face of the kids when I do a story, I could see that, even the parents are like, hey, ma'am, they always, every day they ask me, aaj jana hai. So I think that's the best comment or the compliment one can get after having those lovely kids coming back to you again and again. And recently there was this one girl with me. She's like, आप daily class क्यों नहीं करते हो? आप Sunday, Monday छुट्टी दे दो और आप daily रखो. I'm like, beta, that's not possible to call you daily. But these are the little things, So I think after doing the course, like I've learned a lot, and surely they have enhanced my skills. And like with puppet or with the face expressions, the gestures, the voice modulation, how to create your own stories, And I think everyone has a story. Like every day we have a story to share.
Exactly.
So the journey has been really wonderful till now. Thank you.
Is there any incident after the course when you were taking some session and things just turned out to be wonderful someday?
Actually speaking, I started my proper classes after this session only. Like after I did before that I was doing online. So online there were some restrictions. But like I was sharing, this little girl, she's like, "Aap daily bulao mujhe." So these are like small incidences where I'm finding that, and I had just started 3 months back. Again, because of this third wave, I can say I just kept a halt again, like for the last 1 week. So even the parents are still calling, they want to come. I'm like, for this few days, let me just keep them at break also, because it's not safe. So it's in the process of building more and more memories.
Absolutely. All good memories, and that's really radiating from your faces, and it's radiating our faces. And I guess it's just bringing positivity in. Thank you so much. Now, last but not the least, let us go for a quick round again. Let us discuss that how do you look towards the future of storytelling? How do you think that storytelling can develop? Not only as Edusaarthi, well, definitely in Edusaarthi, but how do you see even in your career maybe? Or do you see it just growing as a tool? Or do you think there is a real bright future of storytelling as a medium in education? We can take a volunteer. Yeah.
Yeah, can I start?
Yes.
I think even as career-wise, if we talk about making it a career, I mean, that is still a different thing. But I think, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, I think not only career, but I think storytelling is a life skill, right? Like cooking is a life skill, and doing so many important things are a life skill. So storytelling is a life skill. I mean, we all have some of the other kid in our life, maybe our own kids, maybe our nieces, nephews. So always we have spectators or listeners in front of us. So if we develop this life skill, I mean, it develops us as an individual also. Now, like I have a 5-year-old niece, and the way I used to tell stories to her back earlier is now changed. And now the way in which I tell her stories, she also replies back to me in the same way. Like the kind of dialogues that we do, that what did you learn, that did you like the story, and yes, she replies in the same way, yes, I like that. So she knows that something now Masi is telling me the story is in a different way, so I have to reply to her in that way. So I think it's a life skill, and yes, maybe someday in the future we would all like to develop these skills in ourselves. And yes, when we get I mean, if we have a bunch of kids at our home, there's a birthday party or anything, I think we can keep a session of storytelling in that birthday party or any other get together, right? Because that will be very, very much interesting for the kids. Seeing different kinds of toys, there are string toys, there are puppets, there are glove toys, बहुत सारी चीजें like the kinds of puppets that we learn to make. So if we incorporate them also, that they are also the guests of the birthday party, I mean, that would be amazing for the kids.
Definitely.
Right? Yeah.
But
I think
learning and plays and learning at the same time. Yeah. Yes.
What I think now this time now actually what I realize actually I'm not every parents this time they want their kids to be first in the class. No one stood second in the class. So I think this is now a very serious note. Like if we can continue with this process of storytelling, their emotion building, like it will work as their emotion building somewhere. Every child, we actually always we say this thing, every child is a special child. Every child has some special ability to do whatever she or he wants to do. But when we are in the real world, every parents शायद मुझे भी मैं भी उसमें शायद कभी आई थी, but I don't know but I really think this storytelling part we have to enhance, increase, because of our kids. So they have to be balanced with emotional field and with their career field. So I think it's really important for future kids.
That's so
agree.
thoughtful of you, Mahua ma'am. Agreed.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah,
this thing I really realized, and I really hate this thing, but it's the practical or the real world, you know.
Yeah.
I handle first class students. Even I can't express my gussa. Ma'am, how much she got, how much he got. Bhai, what? बच्चे हैं, they are babies. Well, it's really, real world is really tough for the kids. It's my personal thinking. After doing this course, it's really my personal thinking. We have to and we should enhance our this field.
Exactly.
I also
Ma'am, would
agree.
like to add something.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think we all are storytellers and we all like to listen stories. Earlier, मतलब पहले भी used to have joint family setup and all. घर में दादी नानी बड़े लोग होते थे. They used to make us listen stories. अब storytelling वो जाता जा रहा है because of कुछ भी कह सकते हो, टाइम नहीं है. मतलब इनफैक्ट एक कोर्स हो गया कि स्टोरी टेलिंग हो गया, बट वो जो इंटरेस्ट होता था वो डेवलप नहीं हो पा रहा है. आई टोटली अग्री कि आप व्हेन यू रिलेटेड द स्टोरीज, emotions definitely comes out, and this is the reason when children can acknowledge their emotions, they understand their emotions through stories, they open up. And the children, not only with children, it is with everyone also. In fact, me also, when I relate to some story na, I also get like acha aisa bhi ho sakta hai type. So it is this is the power of story, that you open up and you express yourself. When you understand your emotions, you can betterly deal it. So better deal with the situations.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
That's so
I
true.
agree with Komal ma'am. Because the thing is that actually I don't know what happened with new generation parents. As I said, everyone wants to be, their kids should be a first in the class.
And I
No
think
one wants.
and it should not be the course. Like storytelling is not the course. It should be within.
It's emotion. It's somehow
it is
I
an emotion.
relate with this thing with my emotions. Your emotions
Right.
comes in different way. We can say.
Yeah, because sometimes storytelling you can take it in the negative way also. In corporate world, if you say na, you say story. Why are you saying it? Go in the negative.
Great. So let's move on to Shweta ma'am now. Let's hear from her.
Yeah, so I even agree with Komal ma'am and like how she said about corporate world. So somewhere I feel, when we say to some parents also, like storytelling, so they feel that notion of small kids only. But I think somewhere like teenagers or maybe those higher grade people, like, where you think storytelling cannot be a part of them. But even if we try and if we say stories at their level, it's very important, because looking at the present scenario, like they have gadgets, everything they have, and it's so easy and they are getting into their own world. But I think storytelling is a medium where, we get a chance to communicate. So if we groom ourselves more into that area also, and not restricted to very young learners, because it's a vast ocean where we can get a variety of audience. And people should be more like, okay, they should look at a broader term of storytelling. It's not like small बच्चों को पढ़ा दिया, story
We
बता
always
दी.
have that barrier, right? That storytelling is for little kids. We don't understand
Yeah, like how
it can
Komal
be
said, I agree, because this thought still is not coming out of mind of people. When you say storytelling, अच्छा, okay, छोटे बच्चों को करवाते हो. But maybe
exactly.
if we groom ourselves more, and because there are, I feel in the teenage or maybe other age group, higher age group, we need to inculcate many more values. And how past may we used to had family discussions, we used to sit together. So this will be done only if we start more interactive, be more interactive at home also. I think at home front also we should be doing all these things. And even if we look to our holy books also,
when when our kids grow up now, we always we had a complaint. The kids, they are not connecting with us. They have their own world. actually when they are actually a kid, we never connect with them. So I think this is a very good medium to connect with them.
Right. Right.
So we
It
should
can help
continue
you
the
build
storytelling in different
yeah.
areas.
Yeah, you can bridge the gap, right? That is
Yeah.
what I'm taking away.
Very much needed.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Yes. Yes, Eva ma'am. Let's conclude with you.
Each one of us have a story, right? Every human being has a story. And whether you're young, old, even a little baby has a story, though the baby cannot speak, but it speaks through crying and facial expression. So, and then I agree with what Mahua ma'am said, that there is so much competition, and you see that in the parents. I think more than the children, the parents need to be they have to be addressed that life is not about competition. Life is about first to understand and teach yourself and the kids the basic skills of life. That could be through storytelling, it could any form of creativity. And when you do things to create through creativity, through storytelling, through dance, through music, painting, things people say, oh, what, wow. Yes, painting says a lot. If you look at it, I might look at the sky and say, oh, the cloud, there is a cloud. To me, it looks like a white cloud. But then there is somebody else who's looking, no, I can see a little rabbit in, so that the perspective. So through storytelling, what I am going to do because of current situation, we cannot do things in person. So, and it is hard to do it online, certain things with storytelling. So what I'm going to do is bring mindfulness and basic life skills through storytelling for children and adults. So this being competitive, you don't have, and then every time you see the kids are on gadgets, A, B, C, either it's the phone, and then it's become part of our life. So even reading, they don't read physical books, they want to read on Kindle or it is the computer. But even what I have seen, I have a 5-year-old niece in the US and she has an iPad from the school.
Okay.
The school gives every child an iPad. And I was asking, what do you do? Oh, she was drawing on the iPad. And I was like, okay. So the thing is, sometimes even from us as educators, or first of all, I would say at home, the mother is the first teacher, then comes the school. So at home, sometimes we also get, there's too much work, so you don't want the child to the paint to fall on the floor, or don't want. But then they are children, they need that. If you touch, the skills, the tactiles come while through touching. So when even the emotions through storytelling, your expressions, your gestures, puppets, theater, you can bring in theater, voice modulation, all that will bring emotions out from you and the person even listening to, doesn't matter of the age. I would say you're listening to I was recently listening to some Ramayan from one of this. I was just browsing through the channel, I just come across, and the way the person was narrating it made me so emotional, and there was no reason to get there. So that it comes out, and it is helpful to yourself and to the person who is even conducting it. So to bring in things that what we are losing due to the digital age. I'm not saying technology is bad or digitalization is bad, but with that we are losing our fine motor skills. Children are not playing outside.
That is correct.
Yeah.
You
So
can
what I
use
gather from all of you is that
Agreed.
storytelling is helping bridging the gaps and getting emotional, substance better. So emotionally, they're making us stronger. It is helping
Stronger.
us to bring our emotions out, talk it out, get deeper heart-to-heart connection. And in this way, I think we can make our children lifelong learner in future. I hope I'm right that what I could gather
Yeah.
from all of your notes. Absolutely. That's amazing to have each and one of you back again on this one panel, I must say. It was so interesting to talk to you all again, and we are
Same
hoping that we are going to
Same
meet
here.
all of you
Same
again and
here.
again now. How sweet.
Same here.
I
It
would
was wonderful meeting everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would definitely like to thank my co-host now, and let us have this session. Sorry, but we have to come to an end, and I would like Shamisha ma'am to come.
Oh, from my bottom of a heart, thanks a lot for everyone for sparing your precious time with us and sharing your journey with us. And it's so happy to hear from you all that every bit of thing which you have learned from Edusaarthi course, you are implementing that. And really a big thanks. And you listening to you all, वो मूवी में जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि आज तो रुलाओगे क्या, वैसी वाली हालत हो गई है। एक एक जन की बात सुन के ऐसा हो रहा है
Thank
कि
you so much. We also eager to, we are waiting for this. When we will meet again, all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you to
Finished our class
Edusaarthi
meeting
for
fast.
arranging
Finished
this
our
for
class
us.
meeting fast, and we were telling Mahua ma'am and I that we have to go there. So we finished that meeting. So we came here.
yeah,
only.
the moment we
After
saw your
20.
message, we were like, oh God, नहीं आएंगे तो. And then
No, we had to come.
Actually,
we
you
had
know,
to come.
the before started the meeting, I told her, my
Yeah.
HOD, कि 5:15 I will leave your meeting. I have to join there.
Yes.
Okay, everyone stay safe. And thank you so
Thank
much
you.
once again.
Thank you.
so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank
Bye.
you so much. Bye bye.
Bye.